Okay, so we're talking about fasting here on Tack Room Devotional. I'm Keith Brown. And again, most people don't want to talk about this subject, but it's very important to us. As a matter of fact, remember in Matthew chapter 6, Jesus said, and when you give, and when you pray, and when you fast. He didn't say if you give or if you pray and if you fast, but he expects us as Christians to give, fast, or pray and fast. I'm Keith Brown. This is Tack Room Devotional. I want to just quickly talk about the different types of fasting. Number one is the absolute fast. That's the fast where you give up everything, food, drink, and everything. And you can't survive very long without drink. I think it's 2 or 3 days before you start having brain damage. So not too many people practice an absolute fast for very long. I can tell you, though, that there are some, just like Moses, who practiced an absolute fast. But remember, that was divinely appointed. God told him, and so therefore God sustained him. Make sure you understand that. Then there's the partial fast. That means that you only give up certain types of food. So if you look at Daniel, Daniel gave up certain types of food. He still ate, he still drank, but he only gave up certain types of food. That is a partial fast. Finally, the normal fast is giving up all food, but still drinking water. Now, when we look at Luke chapter 4, it says that the Spirit of God leads Jesus into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil, and he had fasted for 40 days. This was the type of fast that we're talking about, the normal fast. You say, well, wait a minute, how do you know it was a normal fast? It just said he fasted for 40 days. Well, we see things like, for instance, Satan doesn't tempt him with drink, he only tempts him with bread. Right? So there's several reasons there. If you look through and read, you'll see that it's not about food, it's not about drink, it's only about food. Okay? So that's called a normal fast, and I think that's what most folks practice when they practice fasting. Okay, so what's right, the right and the wrongs of fasting? Well, first of all, like any other spiritual discipline, we can make fasting become a habit or something to impress others. Look with me at Matthew chapter 6. And verse 16, it says, moreover, when you fast, do not be like the hypocrites with a sad countenance, for they disfigure their faces that they may appear to men to be fasting. Assuredly, I say to you, they have their rewards. But when you fast, anoint your head and wash your face, so that you do not appear to men to be fasting, but to your Father who is in a secret place, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you openly. So see, we're not supposed to let everybody know that we're fasting. This is something that we're supposed to keep in secret. Same thing with giving, same thing with praying. It's this discipline that you practice of fasting is between you and God. Okay? If that doesn't happen, then all of a sudden we make it into a practice or a discipline where, you know, we're trying to make everybody feel sorry for us, or we want to feel real religious. Again, remember, fasting is being so consumed with a matter that it becomes more important than food. Simply stated, biblical fasting is refraining from food for a spiritual purpose. In other words, you're seeking God. That's the reason behind it. The other reason behind it is, and if you've never practiced fasting, you probably don't understand this, but I can tell you from experience, the longest fast that I've been on is 14 days with no food, just drinking water. And I can tell you, you become so aware spiritually of what's going on. You start to develop a very intimate, deep relationship with God. As a matter of fact, if you look at David chapter 42, it talks about deep calls unto deep. And you'll see there that David is practicing or is in a fast, and it talks about him fasting, and there's that intimacy, and we all know that David had such a close, intimate relationship with God. Just read all the Psalms, right? So remember, this is very important for us. when you fast, you will get closer and closer to God. So yes, it's being so consumed with a matter that food isn't an issue, but it's also an opportunity for us to grow very close and very intimate with God, and to start seeing things in the spirit realm that we don't normally see when we're not fasting. Okay, I'm Keith Brown. This is Tack Room Devotional. Jesus loves you. I love you. I pray that God would richly bless you as you diligently seek Him and serve Him.